Content warning: Echo can be an emotionally intense experience and may not be for everyone. Echo contains themes of an adult nature, including violence, torture, drug usage, and harsh language. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, everybody! We're back at it again. So, it has been, I would say, a couple of months since the last time we played Echo. We've completed what technically is the good route for Leo's end, and we got some closure from it. We finished Flynn's end, and it just leads up to more questions in my head. Now, there was somewhat of an order to playing this game. Somewhat, I say like an order very loosely, but apparently it's how it was released during the Patreon. So we would have went Carl first, then Leo, then Jenna, then TJ, then Flynn, or Flynn then TJ. But me being me, I went into the two longer routes to see what's up. So we're here now, and my heart's a little bit racy right now as I'm both excited and nervous to see where this game leads me into. All right, okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just need to test something out real quick. Let me know if the music's too loud, guys. But for those who are just dropping in, we are playing Echo today as we try to continue from the last time we played Echo, which was about 6 months ago when we just finished Flynn's route. So the last 3 routes being Carl, Jenna, and TJ's. We're gonna go down in that order and see how it goes, because I want to at least finish the other 3 routes so I can say I finished the game. So, without further ado, let's sit with Carl. I'm tired and I feel awful. I just don't have it in me to chase everyone down right now. Flynn's back off to Echo, and it looks like Leo went after TJ, but I can't imagine the Lynx wants all of us crowding around him right now. Sighing, rubbing my face before I sit down in the lawn chair next to Carl. He looks over at me, slowly lowering what's definitely a joint from his mouth. Got my phone in front of me so I can see chat. He looks over at me, slowly lowering what's definitely a joint from his mouth. What? I don't mind. I make a go-on gesture with my paw. Carl shakes his head though, pushing the disheveled tube back into his front pocket. Nah, I always kind of feel like a dick when the other guy isn't into it. Want me to leave? He shakes his head with a quick flick of his horns. No, man, I just do it when there's nothing else to do. Oh. There's a moment of silence, and I feel a little pressure to break it, since I'm the one who interrupted his bake session. I actually tried it a few years ago. Carl looks surprised. No, really? How was it? I shrug. Pretty bad. Was it a muffin, I think? Carl makes a face at that. Edibles. Yeah, well, I ended up eating one. Didn't feel anything for a while. Next thing I know, I'm face down on the floor and everyone's freaking out. Shit. That sucks. It was kind of funny, but I don't think I'll ever try it again. Carl pulls the joint back out of his pocket and holds it up. That's why you should use one of these. It's easier on the brain. Honestly, they're not wrong on that. I don't. No, I'm not saying I condone it, but I'm not saying that I've done it, and I'm not saying that Chase's experience was the same as mine with not eating the edibles before. And I'm just saying what Carl is saying is definitely not wrong, but that's besides the point. Yeah, well, I guess I just don't like the idea of putting smoke in my lungs. Carl puts the joint back in his pocket. Yeah, I get that. Again, there's a few seconds of silence, and I try to think of something to say, but Carl beats me to it. Crazy shit, huh? I assume he's talking about what just happened. Yeah, crazy. Hi, Binary. We're back at it again. But this time we're doing Carl's route. Doing this handsome man's route. Yeah, crazy. But, you know how he is. He's regretting everything right now. Well, I guess I'd rather he just wouldn't say it in the first place. What he said to TJ, man, he picks on him a lot, but that was crossing the line. Carl scratches behind one of his horns, then rubs his nose. Well, yeah, I guess I never understood that either. Making fun of TJ's like making fun of a cloud. I'm excited too, Binary. I'm excited too. But Flynn doesn't mean it, usually. He likes TJ. I noticed during the trip that Carl's been pretty defensive on Flynn, even though he's the butt of most of the lizard's jokes. I'd seen Flynn trip Carl up and put him in several headlocks since I got here. You'd think getting older would change that, but I swear they roughhouse even more than they did before. So, you and him still seem pretty close. You guys hang out a lot? Yeah, a bit. Mostly because there isn't much else to do. He's got a friend in Peyton that he hangs out with sometimes. So, what? What do you guys do? I know Flynn isn't into video games at all, and Carl probably doesn't care to go clubbing every other night. He shrugs. Sometimes we go fishing, maybe just drive around Peyton. Mostly I'm just hanging out at home though. Playing video games? Playing video games, watching movies, cybering with a chatbot, the usual. I grin. That's sad. I would have cybered with you if I'd known you didn't have anyone. I don't know, man. That thing compiles all the fetishes of the people it's talked to. It's got my sexuality all kinds of fucked up. Oh yeah? Yeah. Sometimes, like, no matter what I say to her, she's tied up in some warehouse, blindfolded with a few missing limbs. You underestimate my abilities. Oh? And a gender swap that comes out of nowhere halfway through? Well, while you're not sexing up a robot, you're doing anything else? Dude, I can't exactly get around myself anymore. So I guess your parents decided against getting you a new car. Yeah, oh, look at this. He leans over and pulls out his phone. I can't help but notice it's a top model brand, probably around $700. But he's not showing me the phone. Instead, presses the screen a few times and swipes through the pictures. I swear, I see an image of Flynn with his pants down, mooning the camera. Carl swipes over it pretty quickly though, and now I'm looking at the image of a brand new sedan. Except the front is neatly folded up around the pole of a stop sign. I recognize the sign. I'd actually seen it right outside the convenience store, still bent at that ridiculous angle. Guess the town didn't care enough to get it fixed. The pole itself is almost embedded into the middle of the hood. Holy shit! Carl chuckles and pinches the screen, zooming in. Yeah, dropped my phone, and when I came back up, And when I came back, up this freaking pole was right in front of me. Really, Carl? Why were you on your phone? I don't know. When I get it down, I don't really think anyone's gonna be on the road. I sigh, then I notice a big round spot on the right side of the windshield. Spiderwebbed and smashed white. Whoa, is that? Yep. Carl knocks on his head for effect. A hollow sound that emits seeming rather appropriate. You rely on that too much, and you really need to start wearing your seatbelt. He shrugs and puts the phone back in his pocket before leaning back in the chair and closing his eyes. We know what really happened. We know what really happened. We know what caused that crash. What's the point? To not die? Happens to everyone sooner or later. Why not get out early if you can? He keeps his voice light under the heavy statement. I have no idea what to say to that. So, I don't. But he breaks the silence again soon enough. So, how's PU? You see Chelsea at all? Sometimes I forget Carl went to Pueblo with me. It was only one semester, but we had a lot of fun. It's alright. Haven't seen Chelsea at all, though. It's a big school. Anyway, what's that project thing you're doing? Just a news packet about Echo, really? Kinda about how it's falling apart. Huh. I told him this already, but Carl never remembers much. Might center it around the whole body and the mind thing that happened way back. Carl opens his eyes and looks at me. So, do you, need history stuff, like old books and records and stuff? Yeah, if it relates. Carl sits up straighter and grins. Well, why didn't you say so? We've got a ton of stuff in this crawl space from way back when. Yeah? Well, what kind of stuff? Carl sets a hoof against one of the rocks circling the fire pit and starts rocking his chair back. Well, whatever my family kept over the years. That one guy, Carl snaps his fingers a few times. You know, the guy founded this place. James? Yeah, sure. He's like my great-great-great-grandfather or something. I think we have some of that stuff from back in the day. My parents were thinking about setting up an Echo Museum or something, but they never did. This might actually be useful to me. All I had planned was to maybe look over some old newspapers or town records and be done with it. Actually, seeing some old stuff up close could be pretty cool. That might be a good idea, actually. Carl grins. Awesome. I always kind of wanted to look through that stuff, but the crawl space is so damn creepy. You free tonight? For the first time, Carl actually looks really excited. Oh, wait, never mind. Flynn's taking me to a dentist appointment early in the morning. How about around 11 tomorrow? I smile. Sounds like a plan. Sweet! Whoa! Carl gives an excited kick off the rock, and as the chair is tipping back, the back legs practically snap under his weight. He's sent slamming down on his rear, the chair a crumpled mess under his ass. I laugh. And of course I feel bad, but Carl just gets up with a sheepish smile and looking down at the broken pile. Well, Leo's going to be pissed. I'm driving down the road alongside the lake. Carl's sitting next to me. He's in the chair that he broke. I keep telling him to wear his seatbelt, but he won't. I turn down a road I don't remember. It goes straight down towards the lake. For some reason, I can't stop. I brace myself for the impact, but I hardly feel anything. We just glide into the lake. I start trying to take off the seatbelt, but it's stuck. I look over at Carl and he smiles before opening his door. Water rushes in and he starts to step out. Soon the water's over my head and it doesn't matter that I'm an otter. Tuesday. Turns out it was a good idea to hang out with Carl today. After texting back and forth with Leo, I learned that he's actually planning a birthday party for the Ram. It's a little weird since Carl's birthday isn't like for another month, but I guess it's just an excuse to have a party. Leo tells me to keep Carl distracted for the day while they go shopping for decorations and gifts. He also tells me he'll get me a gift for Carl, which is honestly fine with me. TJ's pretty bummed though, considering it throws off his hiking plans, but Jenna promises him that they'll at least hike half the trail. I want to talk to him, but he's actually pretty cold towards me, probably because I'm bailing on my promises to go with him. I drive to Carl's house because it's pretty far separated from the rest of Echo, up against the foothills on the Casa Demonio Demonio mountain range. It'll probably take me like, I don't know, 15 minutes to get up there, and there's no way in hell I'm doing that in this heat, uphill, and I got a car. The main reason it's separated like this is because Carl's house is a mansion. Carl's family is loaded, a legacy that followed them ever since Carl's great whatever struck it rich over 100 years ago. James Hendricks eventually went on to start an ice cream business, which, at this point, has spread out over almost all of the western half of the country. Carl's mom is the CEO, I think. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably get some shots of the mansion considering its role in this town history. Most of the old mansions have been dismantled at this point, but I think parts of it are still from the original structure. Probably best to ask first, though. I walk up to the front door and ring the doorbell, listening to the fancy chime inside. I wait for about a minute, starting to wonder if Carl is asleep or just high off his ass, when I hear some voices from behind the door. I definitely recognize the crackly timbre of Carl's voice along with the high tenor of Flynn's. I head around the house, stepping carefully through the desert landscaping and walking into the backyard. "'Cause you want to make out with him?" "No, because you like to make things weird." "No, because you like to make things weird. I just want it to be relaxed." That's when Carl noticed me, and as I round the corner, clutching my camera bag to my side. He's leaning over a bush with a giant set of clippers while Flynn lounges up against the wall watching him. "Whoa, Chase!" Carl's ears perk as he grins. "Sorry, Flynn." Carl rolls his big head at the lizard. "Was supposed to be watching for you." Flynn doesn't look at me right away, instead choosing to pull the toothpick he's chewing on out of his muzzle to look at it. He's still embarrassed about yesterday. "Good. That's alright. Wasn't hard to hear you guys from the front." Yeah, just doing some yard work, obviously." He rubs behind his head. "Promised my parents I'd get this done before they get back." Carl starts snipping at the bush again. He's unusually sharp right now, I'm guessing because he hasn't had anything to smoke. Either way, it's jarring to see him so animated. "Well, looks like you're doing a good job." "Oh, he's only moving this fast because he wants to hang out with you, Chase." Even though the sentence is technically being said to me, I feel like Flynn's directing it at Carl. Carl furrows his brow. "Chase, you could go inside if you want. The back's open." I think that's a good idea because it's clear now that I've walked into an argument. "You should have seen him a few minutes ago. It was like he had a girlfriend coming over." Carl sighs loudly and snips start to get a bit more violent. "No, I'm just glad to have some company that isn't only you, Flynn." Flynn looks annoyed. That annoys me. He really didn't have the right to be frustrated with anyone after yesterday. "Really? Always seemed to be enough for you in the past." Jesus. I love him. "Well, you know, lizards can be fun, but they don't have all the parts that I like, if you know what I mean." Chaos. Jesus. Carl smirks sideways at Flynn. Flynn sneers back, and though I've decided that they're still joking, this is definitely a growing tension between them. What you saying there, Carl? Carl stops snipping and plants the point of the clippers into the ground, leaning on it as he turns to face Flynn. What I'm saying is, you got no blah. Before Carl can finish his sentence, Flynn turns to the right, away from him. This also brings its fat tail around to slam into Carl's crotch with a whap. With a whap that makes me cringe. Carl jumps and squeaks before toppling over to the ground. Oh man, my nuts! Yeah, definitely wish I had those. All dangly and vulnerable and shit. Anyway, I'll leave you two sluts alone. Flynn sticks the toothpick back into his muzzle and have to consciously try not to cover my crotch as he walks by me. He hasn't looked at me this whole time. For once Flynn's gone, I sidle up to Carl, who's still curled up on the ground, holding himself while he mothers under his breath. You alright? No. There's not really anything I could do, so I rub his shoulder with a toe comfortably, and he freezes up as I do, looking at my foot. I'm alright, though. He gets himself into a sitting position before he gets up awkwardly, standing bow-legged. I forgot how much Flynn likes to hit people with his I forgot how much Flynn likes to hit people with his nuts. His dangly nuts. I forgot how much Flynn likes to hit people in the nuts. I'll get him back. It still hurts him if you hit hard enough. As he stands there doubled over with his paws on his knees, I look around. Carl's house has actual grass in the back, which is rare in Echo. Most people either xeriscape or just let the sagebrush take over. Another rarity are the two tall trees on either side of the yard. That's when I noticed how empty one of them looks. Hey, where'd the treehouse go? Carl follows my gaze. Oh, yeah, my dad took it down a few years ago. It was falling apart. His dad also built the treehouse. I can remember hanging out up there, playing on our portable game consoles with a fan at full blast. Even then, it was almost too hot to hang up on there. I walk up to the base of the tree and put my hand against the trunk, grinning. Man, remember all the shit we did up there? Carl shuffles up next to me, still bow-legged, and grins too. Yeah, good times. I'm thinking about climbing it, but I noticed that the branch we used as a foothold had been cut off. Oh, your dad ruined this thing. Carl scrapes at the spot where the branch used to be with his hoof. Yeah, I guess it made the mowing harder, and we didn't use it anymore, so he just cut it off. I can see Carl's looking way up too, and soon enough his eyes settled on a branch just above his head. I don't know if Carl's already jumping to grab the branch with his both paws. It doesn't look very sturdy. Dude, that's gonna break. So, I'm fucking fat. I'll bounce. Damn, Chase. Damn, Chase. Why are you looking like that? Chase, eyes up, eyes up. My God. Why are you fumbling that hard? Oh my God. Why is that me though, honestly? That Chase is me right now with any guy with a belly. I can't. Look at him. I'm about to tell him again that the branch is definitely going to break when I notice his shirt riding up all the way over his round belly. It's not like it's is it supposed to be there? It's not like he's a bag of lard though. It's a controlled type of gut, held tight. Oh no, he's into tummies. We do love a good sturdy pillow, guys. Come on, you gotta admit, those are comfy pillows. It's not like he's a bag of lard though. It's a controlled type of gut, held tight with the muscles underneath pulling it as he flexes. He notices me staring right away and kicks out at me playfully. Pervert! First my moves, now this? I jump back as he tries to follow me with a bigger swing of his leg. And that's when the branch snaps loudly. Carl goes down once again, landing squarely on his back. Ugh! I cover my face instinctively, but I still hear the hollow thud, followed by the whoosh of breath going out of his lungs. Slowly, I lower my paws and find the chubby ram rolling back and forth on the ground, eyes wide as his mouth hangs open. A distant memory comes into mind when we both were 10 and Carl was showing me a trick with his new bike rams. The handlebars ended up in his gut when he landed, and he spent the following minute rolling around on the ground just like this. Good times. Shit! I suck in air through my teeth and kneel next to him, again, patting him uselessly. After a few seconds of hesitation, I reach over and grab the front of his waistband of his shorts and start to pull up on it. Even though he's completely deflated, he looks at me with a bizarre expression and swats at my paw, giving a few breathless snorts as he tries to laugh. Hey, it's supposed to help you breathe. I've seen the coaches do it at school. I'm realizing that Carl's way too heavy to arch up like that, so I give up and end up petting his stomach, wishing I could help somehow. Just stretch it out. His breath is already coming back, but he follows my instructions anyway, and we sit there for a while in silence, punctuated by his heavy breathing, and me heavily rubbing this gold mine of a belly. Of a muscle gut. My God. I start laughing. Jesus Christ, Carl. Can you go one day without hurting yourself? He chuckles too, his belly shaking under my paw. Now, you know why I don't go outside, huh? He slumps back for a while, taking in deep breaths before lifting his head again. He looks down his chest at my paw and grins. Seems like you can't keep your paws off me, though. I move my paw, letting him pull down his shirt as he grunts and sits up. Oh. How about I just let you suffocate next time? I almost did, laughing while I couldn't breathe. I thought you were trying to grab my dick. I put my paws on my hips. Is it because I'm gay? That might just be it. Carl grabs the branch that had been broken off the tree and quirks up to the corner of his mouth. Oh my God. Ugh, my dad's not gonna be happy about that. Who cares? It's just a branch. You know my dad. He gets up and tosses the branch over the fence into the desert, then turns back to me. So, now that it feels like Lucha fucking Lobo just gave me the... Oh my God. Quebradora con giro. Oh my God. Quebrador. You're gonna hear me struggle with Spanish. I can do the rolls, but I need to figure out how to pronounce words. Is it quebradora con giro? So now that it feels like Lucha fucking Lobo just gave me the quebradora con giro, I think I'm done for the day. Con giro? Is the G? I forgot. Is G sound like an H? I haven't taken Spanish since elementary school. Jesus. Want to work on your project now? Honestly, I'd rather just hang out here with Carl, but the sun's about to put a damper on that. Carl's house is like a labyrinth. I think he once told me that it has over 30 rooms, which is fucking insane. Living room is about 5 times larger than the one in my parents' house, and it's hard to miss what looks like a 100-inch flat screen against the wall. According to Carl, the first mansion was even bigger, though. After getting a drink, he leads me straight downstairs into the basement. Down the hallway, we pass a small home theater, what looks like an entertainment room with a bar, and then a small gym. The quick glance I get shows at least 10 fitness contraptions. After that, things get a little more dingy, and I can see how portions of the foundation could be decades old.